The lecture hall smelled of recycled air and a panic badly concealed. Before us stood Instructor Valresh, a 7-foot giant of crystallized dignity, his thoracic plates gleaming. Around me, 200 cadets from 60 species sat in a silence so profound it felt like a vacuum, the kind that precedes a death sentence. "What I'm about to show you," Valresh began, his voice vibrating in our very bones, "has ended civilizations. No weapon in our arsenal, nothing in 20,000 years of Galactic Coalition history has ever stopped it." The hologram flared to life. It showed a pulsing mass of organic machinery, bathed in an ugly purple light. It moved with a fluid, predatory intelligence that turned my stomach. "This," Valresh said, "is a devourer." He showed it tearing through a battlecruiser like wet paper. "It adapts. Plasma strengthens it. Kinetic barriers feed it. Nuclear detonations only scatter it before it reforms angrier." A hot-headed cadet raised an arm. "Surely there's something—" Valresh's cold, silver eyes froze him. "Did I give you permission to speak, Cadet Vaughn?" "Keep your mandibles shut." He returned to the hologram. "Our best strategy is to evacuate and pray it moves on. Running is our most effective tactical response." Then I heard it, a laugh. Not a nervous giggle, but a genuine, amused laugh, utterly profane in that room. Every head turned. At the back, slouched as if watching a mildly entertaining comedy, was the human Marcus Webb. He was grinning, that peculiar baring of teeth humans favored. "Is something funny, Cadet Webb?" Valresh's voice could have frozen hydrogen. Marcus sat up, still grinning. "Sorry, sir. It's just... You said no weapon can stop it, right?" "Correct. Has anyone tried shooting it?" The silence that followed was heavy enough to carve. "Cadet," Valresh said, his plates shifting colors, "I just explained that kinetic barriers feed it." "You said barriers," Marcus countered conversationally. "You didn't specifically mention bullets. Regular, old-fashioned, chemically propelled projectiles." "Bullets," Valresh repeated, the word tasting like archaic dust. "You want to fight an unstoppable entity. With bullets?" "Well, when you say it like that, it sounds stupid," Marcus said, his grin widening. "But yeah, basically." My bunkmate Threxus vibrated beside me. "Is he trying to get expelled or just killed?" Valresh stared at the human. Then he did something I'd never seen. He laughed, a sound like grinding rocks. "Cadet, humanity has been in space for 17 of your years. You think your primitive weapons will succeed where millennia of advanced warfare have failed?" "Maybe," Marcus shrugged. "Has anyone actually tried?" The question hung in the air. Valresh's mouth opened, closed. He consulted his datapad, his plates flashing. "No," he finally admitted. "Chemical propellants were abandoned 15,000 years ago." "Too primitive, huh?" Marcus said. "Might want to add that to the research list." "Class dismissed," Valresh snapped. "Except you, Cadet Webb." We fled, but we lingered, a universal morbid curiosity holding us captive. Through the transparent wall, we watched Valresh loom over the human. Then the instructor showed Marcus something on his datapad. The human's casual amusement vanished, replaced by a cold, sharp focus. We could read his lips. "When? Then where?" He straightened, his voice carrying. "I'll need access to the armory. The human section." As they walked out, Valresh wasn't escorting a prisoner. He was walking with an equal. That sight, that is what truly frightened me. 3 hours later, the rumors were confirmed. A devourer, 18 light-years out, bearing down on the Tertian colonies. Evacuation was futile. The Fourth Fleet was sent, a sacrifice to buy time. The mess hall was a morgue. Then Marcus walked in. He wasn't in uniform. He wore ballistic plates, reinforced fabric, and boots. He was carrying a rifle, pistols, and knives. Real metal knives. He looked like something from a violent history file. He ordered enough protein for 3 and sat alone. I'm an idiot. I know this. Threxus, my bunkmate, was chittering in distress, but I walked over. "You're going, aren't you?" He chewed, then nodded. "Yeah, with bullets, among other things." I sat. Threxus, loyal and terrified, followed. "It's suicide," I said. "The Fourth Fleet will fail. What can one human do?" "They're trying the same thing that always fails," Marcus said, his eyes clear. "They think big, advanced. I think practical. This is just Newtonian physics. No energy signature. It can't adapt to what it doesn't recognize. And why?" I whispered. "You're just a cadet." His gaze locked onto mine, all amusement gone. "Because people will die if I don't try. I'd rather die trying than live knowing I did nothing." It was the most human thing I'd ever heard, reckless, arrogant, and unbearably brave. "I'm coming with you." Threxus made a sound like a dying engine. "Corvin, no!" "Yes, someone has to try something different." Marcus studied me, then nodded. "Can you shoot a projectile weapon?" "I can learn," he grinned. "Good enough." Threxus sighed, his antenna drooping. "Fine, I'm coming. Someone needs to document the spectacularly stupid way you both die." 90 minutes later, in the armory, the smell of burnt powder filled the air. We learned about recoil. It was violent, physical, crude. We took an old fast transport from Bay 7. "Is this authorized?" I asked. "Define authorized?" Marcus grinned, firing the engines. Valresh gave verbal approval. 6 hours later, we arrived. The tactical display lit up. The Devourer. It was a fluid, purple nightmare. We watched the Fourth Fleet engage. Plasma, missiles, fusion. The Devourer drank it. It lashed out. In 10 minutes, the fleet was gone. 17 ships, 4,000 souls. Extinguished. "We should leave," Threxus whispered, shaking. I looked at the colony. 10 million people. "No," I said. "We try," Marcus nodded. We slipped in, using the debris as cover. We suited up, tethered, and stepped into the void. We drifted. 2 more pieces of wreckage. 20 meters. Marcus whispered. We fired, no energy. Just silent flashes, holes, real physical holes. The Devourer bled. It was working. It sent tendrils, confused. We fired, shredding them. They didn't reform. "Time to escalate," Marcus said, pulling a grenade. A homemade fragmentation bomb. He threw it into the wounds. It detonated, a cloud of high-velocity shrapnel. The entity convulsed, ripping itself apart. We scrambled back, the airlock cycling as Threxus burned the engines. The thing pursued, faster now. "Point defense lasers," Marcus yelled. "They're for micrometeorites." "Good enough," he fired. The lasers hit the bullet wounds. The damaged tissue burned. It couldn't absorb energy when it was already compromised. A new weakness, it was still coming. "Asteroid belt," Marcus ordered. We dove, weaving. "That big one, skim it." "Kill the engines." We drifted, playing dead. The Devourer approached, probing, and Marcus triggered the explosives he'd planted on the rock as we passed. The asteroid shattered. Pure kinetic impact. No energy, just mass. Thousands of tons of rock shredded the entity. It wasn't dead, but it was broken. It was running. The debrief was surreal. Admirals, scientists, and Valresh all stunned. 20,000 years of advanced warfare. Beaten by bullets. Not beaten, Marcus corrected. Wounded. But now we know it can be. You just have to think old school. Promotion. Lieutenant Webb. A new unit authorized by Valresh himself. "I'll need Corvin and Threxus," Marcus said. Just like that, we were drafted into the humans' experimental death squad. "Your species frightens me," Threxus muttered later, as Marcus listed weapons. "Flamethrowers, acid, good," Marcus grinned. "Valresh found us in the mess. Lieutenant, your tactics were reckless, dangerous, and violated 47 regulations." "Yes, sir. They also worked." He assigned us Hangar 12. "Do not make me regret this." We raised our glasses. Threxus, Corvin, and the human. The galaxy thought it knew horror. It had unstoppable monsters. But it had never dealt with humanity. And as the universe was learning, humans don't believe in unstoppable. They just believe in finding the right gun.